John Choly began painting more than 20 years ago, but he realized very early on that he wanted to paint to inspire peace and love. Two of the most popular subjects that he likes to do are hearts and moons, and John Choly joins us now more to talk a little bit more about your moon series. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Ann.
Thank you for coming in. Good to see you today.
Thank you.
So how did you become, can I call it an obsession with the moon? How did you become so interested? Yes. How did you become so interested in the moon?
Back in the early 90s, I hooked up with a party planner who actually asked me to design a handmade invitation. I was doing handmade greeting cards then as part of my art. And so she wanted the moon in it. The person wanted the moon. So I did it, and it was very inspiring. And I started doing these very simple moons. This is from about 1993.
Okay.
And then,
yeah, so tell me about this series, because you're varying. Obviously, you watch the moon every single night, so it's so different and so many changes.
Right. Well, then what happened as an artist, ideas pop in your head. They pop in my head. So this is years later. I was hooked up with a gallery in Provincetown, Massachusetts, where I live now. I'm from Connecticut. And I had this idea to actually look at the moon and paint what I experienced. And I decided to do it for a whole year.
Wow.
And so it was a full-blown show. And I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but I actually just randomly picked September 1st, 1997 to August 31st, 1998. These are photographs of the...
Hold this still for the camera, so the camera can...
I know,
so the camera can do a good shot of that. I'm going to hold it right here for this one.
So this is the month of August. I actually had them all photographed to be documented before they were framed, but they were all about this size and frame. And the full show were all 365 paintings in chronological order.
Oh, wow. And you do all of them in watercolor, is that correct?
Well, watercolor with some acrylic, and those moons are all gone now. So then I just started a couple years ago again. I'm not doing it every night, but so these are moons from random dates. Like this one is March 9, 2010.
I see.
These are moons that are unframed still. I have them in envelopes. This would be
so you write the date
June 9, 2010, number them. Yep.
Yeah, well, these are actually so beautiful. Tell me a little bit about this one, because this one looks intriguing to me. It's not necessarily a full moon. This one is dated April 5th, 2009.
Well, again, I paint whatever I experience. So this was obviously, and I do it from like midnight to the next midnight. So in that 24-hour period, because also the moon comes up during the day a lot, and I didn't realize. But this was obviously a night that had been cloudy and cleared. And that's a 3/4 moon.
So you're up at night painting these. How long does it take you to finish a single painting?
Anywhere from 10 minutes to 2 hours.
Wow.
And it's amazing, the process.
So you're like nocturnal.
I'm very nocturnal. but I'll be honest, I don't always paint them that night. I'll go and look and put it in my memory. I'm incredible that way, and I'll go paint it the next day as well.
Wow.
Or I'll jot notes about it and paint it 2 days later.
It's really fascinating, and I know you're obsessed with hearts as well.
Yeah, and I was on in February here about my heart. So I'm kind of known as Choly Hearts and Moons.
Choly Hearts and Moons. Well, we're so glad to have you here on Good Morning Connecticut. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Great to see you, and I know we'll see you around Valentine's Day.